The engines are firing up, all 62 of them roaring to life. Adam Mackey will be coming up here momentarily. We'll be switching over to PA feed here on Speed 51 Radio. I want to thank you for bearing with us. Had some technical difficulties to start the broadcast. We're going to do our best to keep everything going on here, but really the situation is there's so many people here, so many cell phone signals, and with our internet signals, it's kind of bouncing around things. So we're going to have to talk to some of those guys and maybe get a tower erected on the backstretch for next year if we come back here, which looks to be a very positive chance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, if today is any indication, Watermelon Capital Speedway could definitely well be the permanent home of Speedfest. I mean, my goodness, I just can't get over how huge this crowd is. I mean, there is not an empty seat to be found, and as Duke Kenfield mentioned, you can't find 6 inches or anything between on any wood, any concrete, or anything. We want to give a call out to 3 drivers unable to answer the call this weekend for various mechanical difficulties. The 291 of Matthew Ragg, the 125 of Cole Powell, and the 21 of Kyle McCollum.
That made it possible for everyone that was able to run to be able to run this show. There was a last chance race scheduled for the Pro Late models, but they pulled that last night. So we're able to start everybody that could make a go of it for this Speedfest Pro Late Model Rheem 150. 1 to go signal in the air, 1 lap from the green as Bubba Pollard and Daniel Hemrick get ready to go.
The 2012 racing season about to commence here in southern Georgia, in beautiful Cordele, Georgia. A packed house here in Watermelon Capital Speedway. We're about to get ready to go with a 2012 racing season.
The fans still on their feet, every single one of them. They're ready. The anticipation builds. The Rheem 150 ready for green. Robert Tower on the starter stand will wave it into the air, and 32 starters see the green as they cross the line.
54, here comes Chase Elliott, already making a move to the inside of Hemrick, going into 3.
Hemrick running the outside lane, just turned 21 years of age this morning. Youngster, 16 years of age. The Winchester Speedway 400 winner a year ago, in trouble heading into turn 1. Around goes Dwayne Begay. Boswell joins in. The 33 car of Brandon Jones is there. Kyle Benjamin is stopped. Pulling away with some damage, the 29, I think that's Bowen who was in the field. A lot of damage to a lot of different cars here in that. That was actually Spencer Davis that gained some damage in the front end of his car as well. So probably 5 or 6 cars with damage from our first wreck at the conclusion of lap 1.
Fleeman was just passed by the 23 of Chris Kozlik. We just mentioned he started 20th in this race. Now Kozlik in the top 10 in that Fuelless Motorsports Toyota.
We've seen Kozlik being from the Michigan, Ohio, Indiana area. We've seen Kozlik at some races put on some good shows. He had a top 5 at a race or so last year for the JEG'S CRA All-Stars Tour, and he's putting on a pretty good show so far. Ricky Brooks on the inside lane, heading through 3 and 4, and Downey holds on to the position. Brooks unable to get there quite yet.
Top 2 cars pulling away now from your 3rd place driver, the 54 of Daniel Hemrick, as the 18 of Bubba Pollard continues to lead. Chase Elliott following his tire tracks around this 4/10 mile here in Cordele, Georgia.
32 cars started this race. Obviously, Anderson Bowen on pit road. Also, the 23S of Dalton Grindle. He's racing both events today. He's on pit road with the rear end of the car jacked up. Doesn't look like he'll be able to continue. If so, he'll be many laps. Here comes the 1 car of Mike Garvey to the bottom of Kyle Plott. Garvey, the veteran, Plott, the youth, right side by side as they exit turn number 2.
Going down the backstretch into 3 and 4, Garvey with the advantage on the inside. He'll take over the 4th spot from the number 4, Kyle Plott. Give 4th to Atlanta, Georgia veteran Mike Garvey. And safely disposes of the 33 of Jones.
I'm sure one unhappy camper right now is Glenn Luckett, the race director, is the slower traffic. If they're going to give way to the lead lap cars, are supposed to drop to the bottom, and that was not the case there. There was a little mix-up, and it boxed in Chase Elliott, Hemrick, as well as Garvey and the rest of the field, but has made things interesting from 2nd through 8th. They're all nose to tail. Corey Rubel looking for 7th, drops to the bottom of Ricky Brooks.
Up front, Bubba Pollard with a comfortable advantage over the number 9 of Chase Elliott. About to break some more lap traffic, beginning with the number 29 of Spencer Davis and the number 2 of Brady Boswell. Both drivers involved in that lap 1 crash.
File formation most of the raceway. Trying to scope out the field, see where that next battle might be, and I think the 2nd place car, Mike Garvey, who has moved up past the 9 of Elliott now. Garvey has a rocket ship. That number 1 of Garvey from Atlanta, Georgia, the Goodson Racing Golf Team. Number 1 him. Everyone able to avoid the spin. It's the 77 of Mike Sloan, a Missouri driver.
Yeah, the Bolivar Speedway track champion from 1 year ago, the 2010 Lebanon I-44 Speedway champion. Over in the Show Me State, 2 stars on that front row, the 18 of Bubba Pollard, the 1 of Mike Garvey. That second row, you got pretty much the future of short track racing.
You got 2 stars in row 2,
right,
2 stars in row 3. This is just a star-studded field of cars, and we will see another star-studded field in the second half of today's program, too.
No doubt about it. The CRA Southern Six-Pack Tour going to come up a little bit later on. We're looking over in turn number 4. Bubba Pollard, Mike Garvey lead him out of 4. Green flags in the air. We're back underway.
Pollard, the half-car length advantage as they cross the line into turn number 1. Mike Garvey running the outside. He shoves up the banking. Here comes Chase Elliott. Goes to the bottom of Pollard. Elliott for the lead in turn 3. Hemrick drops to the bottom behind him. 4-car battle at the front of the field for the lead pack.
Elliott disposed of the 1 of Mike Garvey.
They'll complete lap 64 this time. Garvey will. Follows him, the 54 of Hemrick in 4th, and Brent Downey has joined the veteran on the inside, a semi-veteran on the outside. And he's in that outside lane trying to hold on to the lead. Garvey gives him a challenge, has to check up a little bit. Coming out of 2 as Garvey works the bottom and Pollard works the second groove.
Pollard maintains the lead in the 18. Brent Downey now around the 54 of Daniel Hemrick. Downey now in the 4th spot. We were just starting to talk about it. He's running against some of the best up in the north. Against Eric Jones, who's going to be in the super race later. Against the veteran Eddie Hoffman, against Chad Finley, against Josh Nelms. He knows what it takes to run up against some of the top drivers in the country.
Garvey again challenging up front with Pollard. Off the bottom is pretty strong and nobody's going to be able to get him, and we've got trouble on the front stretch. Look out, fully up the banking. He'll slam the wall. Hoods fly off. Hodges into the grass. Davidson goes off the track. Joining that accident is Fleeman. Jones spins on the front straightaway to avoid a nasty little crash at the end of the straightaway. Heaviest damage, I think, to Foley's 04. We're about a half a lap from green again. We are 76 laps complete, 74 laps to go, and Bubba Pollard and Mike Garvey come to Robert Towers' green flag. We are back underway. Let's see if Garvey can stay alongside the 18 car of Pollard on this restart.
Brent Downey around the outside of Chase Elliott coming out of turn number 2. Give 3rd spot to Brownsburg, Indiana's Brent Downey. He'll chase down Pollard and Garvey, who are side by side in front of him.
Downey's 25 coming on. We're side by side and at the line on lap number 77. Stretch new leader Mike Garvey.
Now Bubba Pollard trying to get the lead back from Garvey, but now he's got to worry about going down the front stretch.
4-4 on the outside. Kyle Plott on the inside. Chase Elliott behind them. They're 2x2. It's the 54 of Hemrick and the 166 of
Elliott's regrouped. He'll go to the inside of Brent Downey for 3rd.
Great racing throughout the pack this afternoon. Pollard looking high on Garvey for the lead. Chase Elliott taking 3rd away from Brent Downey. Will be able to pull it off. He does. 16-year-old driver Chase Elliott up to 3rd. Downey to 4th as Plott.
Maynard running all over the state of Florida in a various amount of series down there, making a trip up north to the state of Georgia this weekend.
Sloan goes around for a second time. The Firestone 77 of Sloan. Mike Sloan from Rolla, Missouri has spun to stack the field up. As this time by at the line, we will be at the 2/3 mark of the race. Lap number 105. The green will wave again within the last 45 circuits of this JEG'S CRA All-Stars Tour race from Watermelon Capital Speedway. We're back underway, and Mike Garvey stays the leader as he crosses the line out in front of the 18 car of Pollard. Up the banking, the 2 go, and Chase Elliott joins the battle to the inside of Garvey for the lead.
Elliott disposed of Pollard. Now he's going after Mike Garvey, the number 1 machine. They come on a turn number 4, side by side. The leader at the line, Garvey, but just a bumper.
Chase Elliott by. He had the loudest of the ovations today. He and Kyle Busch did in front of his pack grandstand in Cordele, Georgia. Elliott not able to get it done yet. He runs second.
gets underneath the 25 of Brent Downey. Now Corey by side going into turns 1 and 2.
And up front, here comes Elliott to the inside of Garvey for the lead. Side by side in turn number 3, the veteran on the outside, and Elliott on the inside of the line. Lap number 120, 30 to go, and Chase Elliott's the new leader.
Look at this crowd here in Cordele, Georgia, on their feet cheering for the 16-year-old from Dawsonville, Georgia. But Mike Garvey not giving up just yet, trying to make that outside groove work. They make the way out of 4.
Lines up a little bit higher coming out of 4. Elliott's nearly cleared the number 1 of Garvey down into turn 1, and Chase Elliott has now assumed sole possession of the race lead. Garvey back a car length, then a straightaway back to the number 4 car of Kyle Plott, who runs 3rd. He's now officially taken it away from Bubba Jones. Behind them, the 33 of Griffith, the 77 of Sloan, as Ricky Brooks has slipped up again. He's going to be freight trained by 2 or 3 cars as the handle has really gone away on the tech guy's car, and now contact trouble behind him. He came down, closed the door, contact, 3 cars spin, some cosmetic damage. Elliott and the 1 of Garvey going to be able to get slowed down in time and make it through. Boswell's there, Begay is there, and Sloan in the 77. It all started when the number 133 of Ricky Brooks tried to get back to the bottom, and when he did so, the cars behind him checked up to try to allow him in.
Chase Elliott continues to lead the number 9. Mike Garvey in second. Bubba Pollard up to 3rd now. Kyle Plott, as you mentioned, slipping back to 4th. Oh, trouble right in front of us. Wes Griffith Jr. turns it around. Caution flag will fly.
So Griffith's solo car spin on the front straightaway shouldn't take long under this caution. We don't have any damage to any of our competitors.
3 wide was Shane Sawyer, who appears to be off the pace.
Benjamin has tore up the front of his race car cosmetically. He is past Sawyer. He is past Kozlik. The damage rubbing onto his right front tire, and we got trouble on the front stretch. Bryant in the 79 backs it into the wall. Spinning to avoid his Adkins. He just backs into him. Getting through the 16 of Hodges. Good move there against the inside retaining wall of Shane Sawyer. And the 33 of Griffith has stopped to avoid contact. 5 laps to go for the restart. 145 at the line. Elliott and Garvey to the green. Here we go as we're off into turn number 1.
Chase Elliott trying to hang on. The number 9 machine, Bubba Pollard, took a peek to the inside of Garvey. Nothing doing. Battle behind Pollard for 4th. The 54 of Daniel Hemrick, the 4 of Kyle Plott.
There was some contact between Downey. He looked to the inside of Rubel, had to check up at the last moment. Drivers still spinning their tires. Coming off of turn number 4, looking for premier traction. Not many have found it. One that has is Chase Elliott. He's up to a 3-car length lead at the front of the field.
Laps winding down, this time by 147 in the books. 3 laps to go. Chase Elliott 3 laps away from repeating as Speedfest champion, the Pro Late Model portion of Speedfest.
I don't know whether I've seen Kyle Plott race before, but he's impressed me all weekend long. Right now, he's on the outside of Daniel Hemrick, trying to hang on to 4th. He might fall to 5th. There to challenge him as well as the 166, making the 66 of Rubel. Rubel running just out of the top 5.
148 in the books, 2 laps to go. The white flag will be displayed this time by for Dawsonville, Georgia's Chase Elliott. He sees the white flag coming out of 4, 1 to go.
And we got Fultz spinning in turn number 4. White flag still waving. Fultz up the track. See if they throw the yellow on this one. He's out of the way. They might race back to checkered. It is on the last lap. And they will come to the checkered flag. Double checkered off of the corner. The track is virtually blocked. Elliott goes around him. Here comes Garvey to the line. They race. Elliott wins. 2nd to Garvey. 3rd to Hemrick. 4th to Pollard. And coming across the line in 5th is Plotz. Wow. They are told in the driver's meeting. They are told in the driver's meeting, once the white flag flies, you will race back to the checkered. And I've never seen it happen where it ended up. It looked for a while like they were going to have a racing lane, then all of a sudden they started backing up across the track, and it's like, wow, Chase Elliott could lose this one, but he doesn't. He comes to victory. Great job by all the drivers to avoid the mishap down in turn number 4. Stopping at the line, the Aaron's Dream Machine, number 9, Chase Elliott, winning the Speedfest Pro Late Model portion. And the JEG'S CRA All-Stars Tour, Mike Garvey, Daniel Hemrick, Kyle Plott, great run for the 4. Some of our top 5 stopping down on the front stretch. And we will head trackside now with all the post-race festivities